Well, I promised you more on Lewis Hamilton Ferrari fever. Promised you Martin Brundle. I'm going to deliver. We witnessed some amazing scenes at Maranello yesterday as the seven-time world champion drove in the red of Ferrari for the first time. So here is Martin. We also saw that amazing picture. Was it Monday? The Godfather picture, which I'm told has had 5.4 million likes. That's likes, not views, which is just extraordinary. There it is. Just extraordinary numbers. So is he going to emerge re-energised? Is he worth the money?
Oh, yeah, unquestionably. I mean, already, two of the biggest names in the history, the 75-year-old history of Formula One. Some would maybe say the biggest two names in Ferrari and Hamilton getting together. Lewis dressed all in the red, the scarlet of the prancing horse. Absolutely an extraordinary story. The story that will keep giving, the gift, if you like, they'll keep giving for us, I think, in Sky F1. But I think he will. He had all that time at McLaren, then Mercedes. There's only his third team in Formula One. And he'll want to go there and show that, despite just turning 40, he's not over the hill, like some people were saying last year. And he wants to show he's made the right decision again. And I think he'll go there full of energy. Bit of a challenge, though, because he's got to, in a different language, perhaps understand where all the green buttons are in a team. He's left behind Bono, his famous engineer, and the comfort zone of Mercedes. So it won't be that easy, and that's why I think he's parachuted back in Angela and his manager Mark Hines and to get a team around him. So some big challenges. Charles Leclerc, his teammate's been there for 7 years, effectively. Knows exactly where all the green buttons are and who does what, who makes things happen. And so Lewis will have to face that. Leclerc is incredibly fast, but I have no doubt that if Ferrari have a race-winning car or a championship-winning car, then Lewis can win races and even the championship.
We'll come to how good the Ferrari will be in a second. Just here, everybody wishes Lewis well. Everyone knows what a fantastic driver he has been and hopefully still is. But the fact is he was out-qualified, out-raced by George Russell, quite a few times last season and the season before. So what gives you the confidence that the great man is still in there?
Well, let's imagine Silverstone last year with a chance to win the British Grand Prix. He won it. He won in Spa, but that was a little bit lucky because George got disqualified. Lewis was extraordinary all through practice in Las Vegas and then fluffed it in qualifying, which he didn't used to do that sort of thing so much, and then was extraordinary again in the race. So I think the speed is there. Do I think the best of Lewis Hamilton is ahead or behind him? I think it's behind him. I think he's lost an edge with age, as you do. Sometimes he gets in scuffles he used to emerge out the front of, he doesn't now, or he'll make a mistake in qualifying. But I think 96, 97% of Lewis Hamilton in a winning car is still good enough. And he's got all the experience. And as I said, I think his energy, his enthusiasm will be re-energised by the whole experience. And he will not be overwhelmed by driving a Ferrari like so many drivers have been. And also, let's not forget, despite not being a Ferrari driver, the Italian fans, the tifosi as they love to call them, adore him. He's going there and they already adore him. They cheered him even when he was winning in a Mercedes.
He won't be, not everyone, he's like a kid in a sweet shop, isn't he? Even at the age of 40. And this is, he probably didn't dream of driving Mercedes when he was studying karts. He probably dreamed of driving in red.
I think every Formula One driver imagines, and I read the story from Lewis yesterday, when that garage door opened at Fiorano, the test track, and he went out. And I've done that for Sky F1 in Ferraris when we were making TV pieces. And I've not raced one. I did write to Ferrari once and asked if they put me in the car, and they said no.
How dare they?
But when I was a youngster in Formula 3. But there's something so special about the prancing horse, about Ferrari. You're driving for a country, not just a team there, and all the expectations of that, and the politics and media that go with that can be challenging. But I understand that there is, it's a carbon fibre chassis that happens to be painted red instead of silver or black as it was at Mercedes, but somehow it matters. It's different.
You touched on the impending battle with Charles Leclerc, who, as you say, starts with massive advantages in that he knows his way around not only the Ferrari car, but the Ferrari setup, the Ferrari team, is it going to be difficult for Hamilton to make what he will desperately want to do, which is make a fast start?
Yeah, well, he's got to do that. He's got to use his experience. There are no excuses at this level for anybody, even the rookies. But you might give the rookies half a season to get their act together, maximum. Somebody like Lewis, they will expect him within 2 or 3 races to have aced the people around him and the car, to be honest. So you never underestimate Lewis Hamilton. But Charles Leclerc is fast. There's no doubt about it. And he stopped crashing a little bit, because he had a bit of a habit of overdriving himself in the car and hitting the wall a bit too frequently. But Charles the real deal now, and he'll take some beating. He really will.
So there's the title odds, which I'm not quite sure what to make of the Charles Leclerc odds there. Ignore 5 to 11. I have no idea what that means. We maybe take that off the screen, but you get the general idea that Lewis Hamilton is full favourite, and the bookies don't get a whole lot wrong, think that Leclerc has a better chance of winning the title than Hamilton has. Do you go along with that?
Well, they know better than me. I've only been in Formula 1 43 years, so what I do know is that the regulations are very mature, and so we're not expecting one team to suddenly jump ahead because they're reaching the peak of how in their last season with these regulations, how the cars can perform. But Ferrari are very confident. At the moment, the feeling is Ferrari might have improved the car a little bit more than, say, McLaren or others. We know McLaren are confident in their data as well of what their new car looks like. It should be one of the greatest seasons in Formula 1 history. It should be so close. And whoever wins it will win a great championship. But until we see the cars on track, and probably not until the Saturday of Melbourne, the first race, where they're low fuel, flat out, maximum power, giving it everything, fresh tyres, will we truly know the pace of who's just aced it. And then, as you know, it's who's still fast 30 laps, 50, 60 laps into a Grand Prix. So let's wait and see. I think it's very brave to write anybody off or write anybody into a championship winning position. So I think it's different from McLaren a little bit because they've got 2 drivers who could take points off each other. Ferrari, that could well happen too. Max and Red Bull, a 1-horse race. We've got Antonelli in the Mercedes. He's got a lot to learn. So Mercedes could be a 1-horse race with George Russell. And I think that'll play into their hands for the Drivers' Championship. The Constructors' Championship is a different deal. So I think McLaren have probably got the biggest challenge there. But if Hamilton and Leclerc are close together, they'll start stealing points off each other. Yeah. And that is what will make the Drivers' World Championship difficult.
Which is a reason, I guess, why Lando Norris and Max Verstappen, you saw on that graphic we showed you just now, Norris narrowly ahead in the betting of the reigning champion to win the title. If you had to bet the Brundle household on a winner, would you be going Norris?
Do you know what? Formula 1's data driven. It's all about the next race, the next quali. And what I love about live sport is you don't know what's going to happen, and that's why I'm going to so many races to find out. I don't like guessing. I like knowledge. But honestly, we'll see if Red Bull have recovered their car. That's the key thing. If Red Bull have recovered their car, and Verstappen's on form, he'll still be the man. He'll still be the man to beat for the title, for the reasons I said, where Piastri could take points off Norris, and Hamilton and Leclerc could take points off each other. So I don't know the answer to the question. That's the
beauty of the start of every season, isn't it?
That's the beauty of live sport.
Yeah, but especially in Formula 1, you make a better guess in football at the start of the season than you can in F1. F1's got that because the mechanics involved. It's more unpredictable, isn't it?
It is, because the cars are so complex and they generate so much downforce, carry so much power and speed. And there's 1,500 people working on 2 Formula 1 cars in each team, the bigger teams, that is. So, you know, and if they do find, we've seen it in the past with Brawn with a double diffuser, or the F duct, or really clever brake systems, or what have you. But as I said, these regulations are very mature, so we're not expecting some magical double diffuser Brawn type thing, but we're expecting hugely competitive, very, very close grid where the drivers can make the difference.
Do you get the sense that it will be a more harmonious season at Red Bull than it was last time, and does that matter to Verstappen's title chances?
I think it did distract. I think Max did very well to keep his head clear through all of what was happening in the first half of last year. But what will be concerning him more is the car dropped off the pace as McLaren and Ferrari improved, and he'll be nervously awaiting as to whether they've recovered that or not. Remember, Adrian Newey effectively left the team in the middle of last season. So can the people in Newey's wake sort that Red Bull out? If they can't, I don't think he'll stay with the Ferraris and the McLarens.
OK. There is, you said, not too many significant new rules, but there is the prospect of misconduct bans. There was some of the drivers were very miffed indeed when this became apparent towards the end of last season. Will it be significant?
Do you know what? I think we're role models. F1 drivers are role models. You don't need to gratuitously swear in a press conference, whatever. In the heat of the moment, in the car, full of adrenaline, full of despair, happiness, whatever, I get it completely, but I don't personally, but I'm a man of very similar age to you. It doesn't feel right
40.
to me. What I love about rugby is how they respect the referee, and I think Formula One should be the same, because you're role models for all the drivers coming through. So if you're dirty on track, or you're cheating the track limits, or you're calling the FIA stewards stupid idiots, for example, to give you one example, or being unreasonable like that, I think, I mean, there are degrees of this, and how heavy-handed you want to be is a whole new story. But I don't mind there being some rules of our Formula One drivers who are great kids being role models. No, I'm calm with that.
You are now Martin Brundle OBE. Congratulations. So what did that mean to you?
It means a great deal to me, yeah. I was really chuffed about it. And then you think back, I mean, I started racing a Ford Anglia 105E when I was 12, and you think back of all the family, friends, team members, my colleagues and team members in Formula One, sponsors, and at every step of the way, somebody made it happen for you. So you realise you're just representing a lot of other people. But to be recognised for services to motorsport and motorsport broadcasting, which I went into kicking and screaming because I didn't want to do it. I was so angry in 1997, working with Murray Walker in the commentary box. I was like, I want to be on the grid. I don't want to be standing up here talking about it. And then that turned out to be a lucky thing.
It wasn't lucky. It was everything well deserved. Pleasure to have you in. I think last time I spoke to Martin in here was transfer deadline day, January of last year, on the day that Lewis Hamilton's transfer was announced. You brought us the best story, no question, the best transfer of the day. Let's hope we have a dramatic transfer deadline on February the 3rd and a great start to the new season. Martin, thank you very much